Today I am going to explain the poem Where the Mind is Without Fear. It is from ninth class English. The theme of the poem is freedom. The poem Where the Mind is Without Fear was written by Rabindranath Tagore. Rabindranath Tagore is one of the best known Indian writers who wrote both in his mother tongue Bangla and in English. He was a poet, playwright, novelist, painter, educator, and musician. He translated a collection of his poems, Geetanjali, which was published in 1912. In 1913, he was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature. He is the author of the Indian National Anthem as well as the National Anthem of Bangladesh. He became the first non-European to win the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1913. Where the Mind is Without Fear. It is a poem of poet's dream. It was written during the rulers of the British in India. In fact, Tagore died just a few years before 1947 when India became independent. The Indian population had started beliefs that they would never be free. They were always terrified of what they would be by the British rule. He wanted his countrymen to stand united against the British and fight for their freedom. By referring to God as Father, they have a common goal, independence, and must work to achieve for the development of India. The whole poem is in fact one long sentence. The poem has no traditional stanza pattern. It is written in free verse. The poem consists of 11 lines. Told these lines are not divided, it is easy to follow and understand. Now the poem Where the Mind is Without Fear. Before going to the poem, there are some hard words. We can find out the hard words from the poem. Fragments means pieces. Domestic means pertaining to family. Striving means try hard, motivated. Stream, river. Dreary means dull. To children, now the poem of first four lines are where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls. Dear children, in these lines, the poet Tagore imagined that he would like his country to be free. The poet wants his country to be free and where the people of the country will have freely self-respect and there is no feelings of slavery. The poet says that no one can live with fear on his mind. All the times it will be free to get education. Everyone should get knowledge without any condition. Nobody stopped to get education. Knowledge should be available all the people. The poet says that all the people should be united instead of fighting themselves. They should be fight together against those who create harmful to us. No division among the people on the basis of caste, region, religion, etc. Next line. Where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habits. Dear children, here the explanation of these lines are the poet says that in India, his dream is everyone should speak the truth. The poet wants to speak honesty sincerely. He doesn't want anybody to be cheated by any Indian person. Every India should make an effort to improve himself to achieve everything. Here, tireless striving means continuous effort and struggles. Stretches its arms means aims of achieving a goal. Stream of reason means continuous flow of thoughts. The poet imagines the reason to be stream of water through which one can progress easily. The stream of reason seems to him to be lost in the sand of habit. The poet says that each and every citizen should work so hard. There should be non-stop effort with active hands to be perfect and active desired goal. The poet says that the people of India believe blindly superstitions at present, and he would like them to question these beliefs. The poet wants that the person who has logical thinking, he doesn't believe superstitions. But if such person enters into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, here dreary means lifeless, dead habit means old traditional and custom that are harmful, where the superstitions is forward, where the harmful old customs are followed. There, this clear stream of reason should not be lost. Children, next stanza. Where the mind is led forward by thee into ever-widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake. Dear children, the poet says that the people should be guided and led us so that we will not be lost in such a desert of bad habits. In this line, the poet says directly to God that the citizen of free country should have logical thinking and should perform great actions for themselves, for country and the world. In this country, no man will have in fear. They have strong sense of dignity. They will have knowledge or wisdom. He says that all Indians will join hands on the fight against the British. Everyone will speak the truth. They will stop believing superstitions. Only then will India be truly free, not in political, but in human. They will be independent. The poet wants to say that freedom is the concept of the poem. Poet asks God to have such a beautiful country after independence. The poet means India should become a heaven of freedom. In this way, the education is free. The people of India are not divided but united. Where people will work hard, where people will speak truth, the place where there is no superstitions, the place where people will have not restricted, such beautiful place will be heaven of freedom. The poet wants such a beautiful place. Dear children, It is one of the best poems of Tagore. It has continued to move readers for a century since then. Here, the freedom is not just freedom from the rulers of another, but the freedom at the mind. The poet wants that kind of freedom only. In those days, it was the inspirational for the freedom fighters in India. Thank you, children.